Today we welcome Nathan Wardell. He's the Managing Director of Packserv. Now, Nathan, let's look at the big picture first. What are the biggest challenges that you're seeing today in the economy and in the manufacturing environment, and how is Packserv adapting to these?
Yeah, sure. Look, that's a big question. At the moment, I think there's a lot of uncertainty, and that has a dampening effect and slows things down because it withdraws market confidence. And I think a lot of spending then retracts with it as well. So people tend to focus on their sure bets and invest in the primary activities where there's a lot more certainty around what the return is going to be like. So with the investment in labor and skills is still difficult. Labor is still expensive. There's still a bit of a skill shortage. And if people are going to borrow money or invest into new machinery and expansions, they're not going to do it as easily in a down market where there is some uncertainty. So working with existing infrastructure, I think, is what a lot of manufacturers are doing at the moment. And probably we're seeing less brand new facilities being built and new machinery upgrades, which also slows things down. There's been a lot about inflation, this new topic that's running hot and cold at the moment. And I think that has had some uncertainty around it as well. So I think a few people have predicted when it's going to start and finish, and then it comes around and takes a few more scalps. So again, a bit more uncertainty, and I think that slows things down, and it's also slowing down how quickly we recover from it. So the interest rates obviously has been a big part of why that uncertainty and inflation is having an impact. And we're definitely seeing a downward effect on business and manufacturing. Consumer spending retracts, FMCG sales slow down a little bit, and that extra spending slows down. So that reduces sales and production throughputs as well. So a few negative influences around that. With all the pressures and interest rates and inflation, the ATO is still circling around and they're chasing up their unpaid tax debts and tax deferrals from COVID. So I think that's causing a lot of liquidations and administrations to be put into place as well. So that's still an issue too. And then again, also has retracting effect on people's confidence to make new investments. Two things, I suppose, when a business gets wound up, is that there's a list of creditors who aren't going to get paid, and that causes flow-on closures and liquidations as well. But with every exit, there's an opportunity for growth or a new player to enter the market and to fill the gap. So I think it's not all bad, and I think the
Mm.
situation will pass. And we've had quite a few years of a down market, so traditionally we would probably see a cyclical response in terms of things coming back around and picking back up again. What's Paxsa doing about it? Focusing on our core business, really, local manufacturing, local parts, local technical support, and having good technicians readily available so that we can solve problems really quickly. We're also working to promote our rental and rent-to-buy options, which gives manufacturers an opportunity to more easily enter the market and get new production lines up and running, and working with a finance partner, Finlease. So for anyone that's not able to manage a purchase straight away, their finance options are readily available as well, and having a good finance partner does help with that too. So, taking time to work on improving our current range of machines, improving our designs and manufacturing, and also streamlining our manufacturing, making it faster and easier and more cost effective to get machines to market, and also expanding our range in terms of developing new machines. We have our own in-house CAD CAM facilities so we can design and build machines in-house. And with the purchase and finance and rental options, we're able to help more clients more quickly and at different stages of business too. So it's not that there aren't new entrants to market, there certainly are. And it's not that people aren't investing in new machinery, there certainly are. But making it easier for people to get access to that machinery and get it installed with local technical support, having a technician on site definitely makes it easier, and access to funding.
Okay, and one of the exciting pieces of news that we've published recently is about your expansion into the US market. So,
Yeah.
what differences or unique opportunities do you see in the US market that you're not seeing in Australia, or in addition to what you're seeing in Australia?
Yeah, thanks. Yeah, really exciting. So this is a new opportunity for us. We have a US distributor based in New Jersey, FP Development, and we've sent over some of our machinery recently and taken part in a US-based trade show, Pack Expo East in Philadelphia, which was really fun. It was a great show. Lots of local and more regional attendance, as opposed to one of the bigger, more international shows where you have a lot of visitors and exhibitors from different countries. This is more regional and more or local, and so smaller manufacturers, and that's really our target audience, that SME style of manufacturer, FMC producer. We got a long list of leads from the show. The show was really positive, and we're currently working through that list of leads with the distributor. So, great opportunity, and we're really excited to see where that goes. It was a great show. I think the main difference between Australia and the US is just the sheer size and scale of the market.
Hmm.
There's just that many more manufacturers in the segment, and there's just more potential clients to go after. The US does have its own healthy manufacturing sector and several international brands who already have a presence there. So it's comforting to see that while it's competitive, it's not exclusive. And so we're working on getting some traction there ourselves. And there's definitely an opportunity for an imported product, particularly when it's distributed locally and you've got, again, local technical, local parts, local service. It's not like just taking a chance on purchasing a foreign machine. There's actually a local representation, and you can actually speak to someone in the same time zone, in the same language, and actually have a technician on site. We're working on other markets globally and trying to get access to a broader market. And so we're hoping that we're going to have other distributors come on board as the year unfolds. So, yeah, really exciting times.
Well, one of the reasons you've been able to do this is because you're so focused on innovation. That's a really key part of Packserv's approach. How is it shaping your product development strategy and your customer solutions?
Yeah, our design team's always working on new tech and making more functionality more readily available and incorporating it into our machines. So there's no shortage of new technology, and but the new technology and the new features and functionality of packaging machinery is largely unavailable to SME manufacturers. It's usually part of a much larger system or a much larger machine from a bigger manufacturer for a bigger production facility. And so a lot of SMEs are cut out of that opportunity, which makes it harder to compete against larger manufacturers and also cheaper imported products. So one of our goals is to continue chasing efficiencies and technologies that are and adapting our machines to smaller, more readily available machinery that can help SME manufacturers be more competitive. We've recently released a couple of machines that we've developed here that are fully pneumatic, which are more suited to flammable and dangerous goods and wash down environments. But we're also developing new machines that feature HMI touch panels, PLC controls, and heading more into that Industry 4.0 space. So more advanced functionality, data reporting, capabilities, management, software, that sort of thing, making the more technology easier to use and optimized with newer features as well.
And of course, while you're doing this innovation, you've got to bear in mind the bigger trends or the bigger priorities of industry, and sustainability and smart manufacturing have to be two of the biggest. How are you integrating these trends into what you're developing?
We use a lot of recycled materials in our construction and our manufacturing processes, and we also recycle almost all of our own waste materials as well. So the swarf that comes off the CNC machines and the lathes and the mills, we do recycle and collect. So we're doing what we can in terms of better utilizing the materials that we do bring on site, but also making sure that we're not wasting them once they get here. We do adopt a smart factory approach as best we can in our own facility with LED factory lights that dim and switch off if nobody's in the area, and minimizing our energy and resource consumption wherever we can. From a machinery perspective, though, we design equipment to run consistently all the time, which reduces downtime and wastage. So no one likes to throw away any products or materials, let alone entire batches, because a mistake's been made and it can't be pulled back. So we try and develop machines that have less downtime, more consistent and more reliable, so that we have less product wastage on the production line, which is where a lot of waste material comes from, food waste especially as well. The machinery is designed to be endlessly usable. So we call it a buy for life philosophy. So we regularly refurbish machinery, update the worn components, and then put it back into service again. So part of the benefit there is that having a rental division and also a manufacturing division is that we do get to buy back machinery, and we do offer a trade-in option for customers that want to upgrade and change to new machines. And so we do have the ability to continually refurbish endlessly our machines and actually put them back into service again. So that keeps a lot more material and machinery out of landfill and stops people actually just throwing machines away once they've had their life expectancy, or some of the cheaper, more imported machines perhaps might have a shorter lifespan and that they get recycled. Well, our machines get refurbished, not recycled.
Sounds good to me. Now, looking ahead, if we can look into your crystal ball, what are the major trends that you see impacting the packaging machinery sector?
Sure. Look, we're working with a lot of startups and helping small businesses scale every week. And I think that nurture process is really important. So we're continuing to build stock and entry-level machinery that small businesses can easily adopt new technology and easily bring new machinery into their facilities and be able to operate it. So helping them scale puts us in the right space to help grow with those businesses. And making our machines modular makes it easier for manufacturers to add new equipment in different stages of their business. So the combination of pneumatic and HMI touch panels with PLC controls makes it easier to marry up with existing equipment. So people don't need to replace an entire production line. They might just splice in a new piece of machinery, or they might refurbish or retire a piece of machine and do an upgrade, but you don't need to replace the whole line. So we're continuing to adopt new technology, working towards integrating AI into our own machines and ensuring that we're moving with the industry as best we can. By enabling data capture and processing, it's helping manufacturers become more efficient and be able to manage smarter and faster product changeovers as well, which is really important to be more responsive to market changes by not needing to go through expensive re-engineering processes and have works done to shift from one type of container to another or to change packaging. One of the comments we hear quite a lot about our business is the lead times. When a manufacturer sees an opportunity in the market or is offered a new contract, often the hurdle is the time that it takes to get machinery set up and running. And we try to have machinery ready to go the same day. So to have a rental option on the shelf means that we can supply customers that choose to start with a hire rather than an outright purchase, which makes it easier for them to meet market demands and actually get new products onto the shelf more quickly. One of the big challenges with other machinery brands, local and imported, is when things break down or need changing. So, because we're a genuine manufacturer and if we need something or if one of our machines breaks down, if the parts are on the shelf, we can just make it. So, having that local support, parts on the shelf, and readily available technicians means that we can respond to customer demands immediately and not waiting months for shipping and dealing with offshore supply chains and time zones and languages and all those sorts of things. In January this year, Australian Made launched this Made Right Here campaign with the Australian government, and that also was in line with Australian Made Week and the 40th anniversary of that green and gold triangle. So it's a great initiative to drawing attention to Australian businesses that support the economy and also backed by the government. So supporting our onshore FMCG manufacturers and packers is really primary for me. From producers and production facilities, it's really made far too hard to be competitive in Australia. And anything we can do to support those businesses, I think, is a must. So we're a member of Australian Made and also Australian Made and Own. And I think everyone who's adding to that Australian manufacturing sector and continuing to ensure that we remain self-sufficient and not dependent on imports is a really good thing. And I want to put our attention and efforts behind that as much as we can.
Well, it's exciting times for Packserv, and you're doing so much for local manufacturing. Thanks for joining us today, Nathan.
Thanks so much, Lindy.